feed.
Oh, is it Mike?
No, you.
No, you start off what we're making.
Okay, another edition of
Cooking with Chef Sam.
We'll figure this out yet. So tonight is my favorite time to cook because I'm not cooking. Surprise! I get to leave it up to our guest chef tonight, Chef Mike. Woohoo! And the reason is tonight, oh yes, give them your profile, give them your best look. There you go, work it. Tonight is Taco Tuesday. Yay for tacos. Most kids like them, Sam included, right Sam? What do you think? I'm going to guess that's a yes. And so what we do for Taco Tuesday isn't much different than others. It's an easy dinner, and we actually try to make it easy. Oh, and you know what you're missing? Haha. You forgot the salsa. All right, so let's take a look. We're going to show you our ingredients. We're going to get better at this, I promise. And a little bit of how we do this. So the first thing we've got going on, if I may, Mr. Sam, I'm going to grab this real fast. Just to get this going a little bit, we already started to brown the onions, and by we, I mean this awesome guy right here. There you go. Woo! With help from this awesome guy right here. So what we use for the meat portion is we use the vegetarian hamburger. You want to zoom in on everything? All right, you take the camera. I'll just talk. Not too close. You want to see it? Okay, they are tofu crumbles. We get the politely hot. It's not hot at all, guys. It's just politely hot. It is made
not hot at all.
AKA
no flavor.
Not hot at all. Exactly. It is tofu out of organic soybeans. So if you're not into soy, this part won't work for you. But for the rest of you that want to try it, it's actually really good. Don't go, gee, it tastes like hamburger. It's not going to taste like hamburger. However, it does look like hamburger, and when you flavor it, it will flavor to whatever you want. And when you're eating tacos, don't kid yourself, it doesn't taste like hamburger anyway. It tastes like Mexican mystery meat of whatever that is that you do for your tacos. And
We're eating tacos.
We are eating tacos. So we actually use these crumbles. We mix them with the organic black beans. We do spend a little extra on these. They're not in the can, so you don't get the leaching issue. And this is, quite frankly, the working parent's guide to tacos. We're trying to do it as easy as possible. I don't have time to soak beans, but you will save significant money if you do have time to soak your beans. We use a little bit of the taco seasoning mix to go ahead and give it that taco flavor. And the Greenwise mild organic salsa. Sam actually likes the medium. He likes it spicy. My tummy can't take it. Sorry, guys. So we do the mild at our house. Sad. We use an entire bag of these little greenhouse grown tomatoes as well. So you're not just getting like, oh, the salsa. You're getting the salsa plus the fresh tomatoes and the fresh onions in there. And afterwards we will add lettuce for topping, avocado for topping, as well as I put on the, oh, we're going to go grab it, the tofu soy-based sour cream for me because I like that consistency. Again, it's just something different. It does look like, oh, you gotta grab the, here. It looks like cream or sour cream. It's not gonna taste like sour cream, but it's not a bad substitute if you're looking for something with that same consistency, and it has that same effect where it cools down the spice of any kind of meat that you're putting in there. And last but not least, I actually prefer the non-GMO. Our Publix doesn't carry it, and as a busy working mom, we don't always, or working family, we don't have time to run to every single store. When I can, I do, but when I can't, we just pick up yellow corn shells. The secret to those, you put them in the oven and you bake them ahead of time, just for a little bit, a couple minutes, makes it nice and warm and gives you that crunchy and actually a much better flavor than straight out of the box. So without further ado, I'm going to let the boys do the cooking. Yay for the boys cooking. And show you actually how they make this. Oh, that's a wonderful hat. I love that.
Do I have a hat on me now?
No, of course not. It's just flowers.
Hi there. I'd love to see what kind of hat I have on me now.
You can see later.
You don't get to see till later. That's the fun of cooking with Sam. So.
And nobody knows what I put on you.
Okay.
I'm going to cut up the lettuce for you while you're
talking now.
All right. So here's what we've done. We are already ahead of the game where the first step that I do is first we take a pan that is about yay size. And babe, what size would you say that this is?
Really big.
Okay, a really big pan.
It's almost like a 12-incher. I want to say it's either 10 or 12. I thought it's one of the larger pans.
It's this big right there. So you see that. And what you do, first step is always chop up your onions and put in, I don't know if Allie showed you the kind of butter.
Oh, I did not.
But we use, and this is the staple in this household and family, Earth Balance, which is original, is it a spread, babe, or how would you call this?
It's an oil-based blend, but it's not greasy, and it really does cook like, honestly, this cooks like butter. It tastes as close to butter as you're going to get. It is not plasticky at all. I bake with it and make cookies, and nobody knows the difference.
I am extremely picky when it comes to butter. I'm a huge butter fan, and this is as close to the real thing as you can get for something that is not butter. Don't be afraid to use a good amount in this. So when you look in where the onions are, it's already now been cooking. The onions have been browning for a good 10 minutes on here, so I'm ahead of the game on that. But I put a good amount of butter in there to do so. Once you get your onions starting to now cook in there, I already have the tomatoes. That's a full bag of the tomatoes that Ali showed you before. Chop it up, get that ready to go, but you're not putting that in there just yet, because your next step after you have your onions going here is going to be the tofu crumble.
Dun, dun, dun.
I could tell you that, again, as somebody who is picky with food and somebody who has not really done anything on the dietary side of things, vegan side of things, this meal that we make here tonight tastes just like chili.
You gotta get his face
It's
there.
just like
There you go.
tacos. Trust me that this is phenomenal as far as the taste goes. If you're thinking, well, I'm not a tofu fan, that is precisely what I said up until trying a lot of the stuff that we cook with here in this house. So you take it out of the box. You don't just cut it and plop it on in. I will tell you that if you do that, this whole thing's going to plop out and it's going to be a mess. So what I try doing, let me take that back. What I do, there's no try on this. Is,
Do or do
exactly,
not. There is no try.
do or do not. Is I take the tofu and add your own kind of music to this as to what I'm going to do right now, but I gently kind of not what I was going for in my head, but
You more about to go on.
this is a family show. So soften up the tofu. It's essentially a big block of chopped up tofu in here, but you want to make it to where it's at least mushed down together. So when
Smush
I
it.
take the knife,
Smush it real good.
and good reference there, baby. Alright, I do not use a sharp knife on this. You can, but I do not trust my hand on this when cutting this. Get it in there. I open it up like that because, again, if you do not open it up the right way, it can go all over the place. You then take the tofu, go over the onions, and voila. Inside the pan, you have the full
The tofu was coming. The
tofu
tofu was coming.
crumbles inside there. I've turned the stovetop up now
Or these you call it,
to
the
what
brown-
is a low to low medium heat.
The brown fruit is coming. The brown fruit is coming. Already came.
And now, there's a few tricks to the trade. Initially, when we first started making these, what we would do is we would cook the onions and the tofu together. You have them.
Sorry about that. It was technical difficulties.
Please stand by, and you did, and we're back live now. Okay, so what we used to do is typical tacos, you would have maybe your salsa off to the side, your onions off to the side, a lot of your main things that you would call toppings off to the side. The trick to this with our recipe is now putting most of everything inside the taco dish as you're cooking it. Okay, so right now, you got the meat, you have the onions, and we are going now for the salsa. This is a Publix Greenwise organic salsa. It is mild.
Thank you.
Anytime I open up something like this, I open it up, I then close it, let the air in there, and I shake it up.
Now the emphasis is shake it with the lid on, otherwise you're going to decorate your kitchen, which Sam and I would do, right Sam?
I would love to. We knew cocoa red.
Salsa.
Red, and a
Now
little bit of
going
white.
inside.
Hold it steady.
And I do not use the entire thing of salsa. I just eyeball it to see how much I want. I don't want it splattering all over the place. I'm going to lower the heat a little bit right now. Okay. And now I mix it up. So now we have our first 3 ingredients in here. The salsa, the onions, and the tofu.
You know, I sit back and snack. Y'all have fun.
Now you see how it soaks in very, very well. And the pan is filling up a little bit. I'm not done with the salsa, though.
Oh, sorry.
Salsa has been removed from the table.
Yep.
A new challenger approaches.
Okay.
All right, so now that that's been stirred around, I now add the rest of the salsa, because you do want a good amount in there. And we're still not quite at the full can of the salsa. Get the pan back hot again.
Some water.
Go get some water. All right, I'll take over the camera. Go ahead, Sam.
All right. So now, keep in mind, the tofu is already cooked. You really just need to heat this up. I've never really heard of raw tofu anyway. That's going, that's heating up. Now we're going to get ready for the next ingredient to go in here, and that's the beans. And so, organic black beans. When you open this up, you have, I will call it bean juice.
Ew.
In here. We are going to drain the black bean juice. Pour the beans in the strainer, but not rinse it off. You want what the beans have been sitting in, the water it's been sitting in here, to still be on the beans. Careful when you open this. If you open it quick and right next to you, very good opportunity to get nicely splattered with the black bean juice. I speak from experience. Hold it away, into the sink.
What?
Pour it over into the sink. And now, keeping it right here, what I do, I'm going to need you, buddy, to just move right over here. Put that down just a drop. Thank you. Because I'm now going to take,
With long arms.
with my long arms, what's on the stove, hold it over here, and I do this over the sink so that way I'm not getting anything messy. And I pour the beans directly into the pan. And now, that is, everything's on the stove.
Sam, you want Sam?
I want you to keep in mind also, something that I do as I cook. And I'm in the kitchen for what amounts to be at least 4 to 5 nights a week, is clean as you go. And you don't have to fully clean everything, but if you rinse off things as you go and put it off on the side of the sink where it's just a simple cleaning afterwards, you will save yourselves a lot of time, headaches, and hassle. And we get back to the pan. We're going to mix it up a little bit more.
You want to cook?
And now Chef Sam is being polite by letting me do this, but I follow his lead. So Chef Sam, if you'd like the honors of
Okay, you can
doing a little bit of stirring on there, please.
Go ahead, buddy. Mix it up.
stir.
Just a gentle stir, not too hard. You just want to mix things around so that way the beans get all around inside. So it's mixed up, the beans, the onions, the the tofu, all mixed around together. And as you see, the pan is growing larger the more and more you're adding on this. But we're not done yet. Okay? So as Chef Sam is doing that...
But wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more. Now we take the taco seasoning mix. And even though we're not using anything that's super hot here...
Which one's spicy or?
We are using a taco seasoning mix that adds a little bit of a kick to it.
Just a little.
Spread it out equally on the top. It's not a lot, it's not a little, but it is equal across the top. And there's our seasoning for this. Now, depending on your taste, I'll also add a little bit of salt every now and then to this. You'll notice, and Chef Sam, if I may get in here.
Sure.
So as you're mixing it around, you're getting it around, you're seeing that the salsa has continued to soak into the beans and soak into the tofu and soak into the onions. And now we will take the remaining portion of our salsa. I'll put it in on the top there. And now you have used a full can of salsa.
Full can gone.
Okay, and we're still at a low to low medium heat. I am one who does not encourage cooking on a high flame unless you are out on your grill. Inside the kitchen though, I prefer cooking at a low to medium at best. Things take a little bit longer, but they are much more worth it. All right, so now...
Keisha, get it good. That is your meat mix.
No, it is not.
Oh, that's right. It's your almost meat mix minus the tomatoes.
So now I've already chopped up the tomatoes over here. This is the full bag of tomatoes. There's probably 20 to 25 of those little tomatoes in here. Keep in mind the tomatoes and the onions chopped up, not super, super, super small, but super, super small. Not super, 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 but super, super. So they're chopped up nicely, but they're not fine grained, so to speak.
Okay, ready? Hold on. I'll walk it over. Since Sam does not seem to want to leave his perch tonight. There you go.
All right, and now from the cutting board, I will lift the tomatoes up. Now I will take them over here. And now the tomatoes going inside the mix for our final topping. The reason that we do that is because you want the tomatoes cooked, but you don't want them overcooked. And again, clean as you go. Quick rinse on the cutting board makes it a lot easier for later on. I keep my towels over here that I'm going to rinse off my hands for. And now we're going to mix the tomatoes in with the rest of the mix. And so you notice in the pan, now this looks to be anywhere from 4 to 6 servings. Although for us, with the way we eat, it's about 3 servings at 5 tacos each. Okay.
Something like that. And a quick Islanders score update for the boys. It is 1-1 at the end of the second.
End of the second, thank you.
You're welcome. Isn't that pretty, though?
All right.
What do you think, Sam?
Uh-huh.
So now, here's what we have. You have a mix that is, yes, used for tacos, but this can also win you the chili cook-off. If you do, and you use this recipe, I want full credit, please.
Or Sam.
Or Sam, yeah. We're cooking with Chef Sam. Honestly, this stuff makes a wonderful treat the next day. Oh my, hi. That's like way close. We will stick don't do that, blue chips in a lunch bag with Sam, and he'll get to eat the taco as a dip. It makes a really good kind of either taco salad or actually taco tacos, or even just a nice thick dip to use with your blue chips. So
Tacos, tacos, tacos.
gotta
So
love
what
it.
you're doing here, again, you're not cooking really. You're heating a lot of things up. The tofu just needs heating. Yes, technically you're cooking the tomatoes, but you're really just heating the tomatoes quite a bit.
Heat it up.
You're heating the beans. You're cooking the onions a bit, but everything else is really, it's an order you put things in, it's how you put it in, it's how you cut things, it's how much salsa you put in there. And now we have this on still that low to low medium heat. We're at a 3.5 on what ours is.
3.5.
See, it's gotten a nice little boil / bubble right there. And now you just let it sit for a little bit, because really the final step as we're getting ready to devour this is now taking the taco shells and heating them up as my beautiful wife told you to do. So we have a sheet over here already pre-layered. Take your shells and you spread them out on here. Oven is already preheated for 350. This is not a trick of the trade in the sense that nobody knows this, because it's on the package of the tacos and it tells you what to do. So and one is broken. I'm so sad. He lost his life.
We have to give him an actual funeral.
He gave his life for us. Okay. Now, the oven is heated. We take the shells. We open the oven. We put the taco shells in the oven. We close the door. We set the timer for 5 minutes. And voila. Meanwhile, on the other side of the kitchen.
Do do do.
Oh, I
Do
think.
do do do.
Oh, I got nothing. Now I cut up the lettuce so we can have that. This is the vegan sour cream that I was talking about. It is the Tofutti brand. It is milk-free. Like I said, it's got that thick, creamy texture, kind of like a sour cream, but don't expect it to taste that way. Honestly, as I said the other day, the best thing to think about if and when you're doing vegan food, and really if you just eat vegetables for dinner with some beans and nuts and stuff, you had a vegan dinner. But that said, is just try something different and expect it to taste different. That's all. It's a different source of protein. You know, this stuff again is also soy. It does have 1 gram of protein for 2 tablespoons in it. As you can see from the bean concoction we've got going on, it's got black beans and the tofu that's in there. That's also all protein. And if you change out the lettuce for spinach, you know, you can make a bunch of alterations. But all of that being said, we have a very significant health kind of commentary for you for a second. And this involves little children and black beans. Sam, would you like to give the commentary? All right, go ahead. What's the what is it? PSA? Give your PSA about black beans.
That's PSA.
Public service announcement.
Don't eat black beans with fruit. Does not end well for your family.
And why is that?
I think you can explain that, Mom.
Oh, good. So, as we've had in personal experience, and we found out from a doctor, if you are to eat beans, do your tummy a favor. Skip the fruit for about an hour. Otherwise, apparently, when you combine the beans with the fruit, then you get to start singing the beans, magical fruit, the more you eat. And I think you get the idea. And some of those, seriously, from little children, can make you want to pass out. So do yourself a favor. Don't get your kids fruit an hour after this meal. Yeah, is that hopefully, yeah. So that is your PSA for the evening. And a little bit about, I guess, while we're waiting, because it's got, what do we got, a couple minutes? Mm-hmm. All right, so just a little bit about vegan food and vegan cooking and all this type of stuff. So as we've mentioned a couple times, just depending on when you chime in, Sam, because of medical reasons, is on a grain-free vegan diet, no animal product, no dairy, no gluten, no wheat, no flours, that type of thing. And so you go, oh my gosh, what are you going to feed the kid? And a couple of years, well, more than a couple of years ago, we feed him nothing. The kid eats cardboard. No. No. So when we found out at 4, and he was 7 years ago, that we had to start this diet, my best friend actually reminded me of this the other day. We went to Whole Foods for the first time, and we got like a tiny little batch of items that our doctor had said to get for substitutions and that type of stuff. And I remember checking out, and she remembers this vividly, and I swiped my bank card, and it was close to $200, and I sat there with tears down my face. Here's the great thing. 7 years later, there are many, many more options. There are lots of places that you can go to get the foods you want or need. And really, if you focus on your diet away from the processed food, you're actually going to save a bunch more money. If you stick with the fruits, vegetables, go to your farmer's market if you can. Go to Aldi, go to your fresh produce, those types of places, you're going to do better. We don't all have time to do this. And so we, as a working family, do the best that we can. Okay, we've got a Publix down the street. We've got a Costco where we can get bigger bulk items, and they do have a good variety of organic stuff, not at ridiculous prices. Aldi is doing a much better job, is my understanding now, of certain items. Of course, you got to pick and choose. Some of the produce is better on better days than others. But as far as they're offering more gluten-free products and organic products and that type of stuff. We also go to Whole Foods on occasion. Don't write them out completely. I can only imagine what you did to me. You don't want to write them off completely. They have days where you come in and they've got buy one, get one frees. They're really good about that with some of the pastas and some of the crackers and some of those types of things as well. We will go to Hoover's, which is a local place here. Oh, we got what, 5? Oh, we got just a few seconds. Anyway, we'll show you some of those different things.
Few more seconds. Dun, 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 dun. Few more seconds.
There you go. So we can show you some of those food items later on as we go and where the discounts are as we find them. And that bell means we get to eat a nice late dinner with Chef Sam. You ready, buddy?
All right, so we take out the taco shells. Nicely baked. Oh, look at that.
Bake my potatoes.
I suggest putting the taco shells in a bowl and not on a plate.
Plate?
Because they will be messy.
Plate? No good.
I suggest also putting whatever toppings in addition you want to this, such as be it lettuce, sour cream, in first and then put the meat on top after that. That's just my way of doing it there.
There you go. Here to help.
I also suggest waiting more than 5 seconds to actually begin doing this. But because I'm a man and I do stupid things,
just like touching the top of the oven.
I'm going to burn my hand right now on the taco.
You don't have to do it.
One thing that I stress with Chef Sam, and I don't know if you've noticed throughout the time of doing this, is every now and then coming by and a rinse of the hand and a wipe of the hand off there. Always keep your hands clean, because I use a lot of my hands in cooking, in this case right now, in making the tacos and such. So as you are doing that, remind yourself, rinse your hands off constantly. I use a spoon to put the taco meat in.
Because using a straw just wouldn't work.
Straw will not work. We have tried that.
You have?
I think you have.
Where was it on this day? I want to go back to the day where we used a straw.
Right.
And so,
Way to watch.
that is what a taco can look like.
And it's
This taco can be yours if the price is right.
but the
Or you come over for dinner. Yeah.
That too.
So on that note, I think Chef Sam should say goodbye. And we are going to eat dinner.
Goodbye.